James Carter was a man who seemingly had it all. From the outside, his life appeared to be a perfect blend of success and fulfillment. He was a man who had climbed the ladder of success with determination and hard work, earning accolades and admiration from peers and strangers alike. From a young age, he dedicated himself to the art of martial arts. His passion for the discipline was evident even as a child, when he would spend hours practicing and perfecting his moves. Martial arts became more than just a hobby. It was a way of life, a philosophy that shaped his character and his future. His movements were a symphony of strength and grace, each motion executed with precision and power. The dedication he poured into his training was unparalleled, and it showed in every performance, every competition, and every demonstration. His talent did not go unnoticed. He climbed the ranks, earning his black belt and the respect of his peers. His achievements in martial arts were a testament to his hard work and unwavering commitment. Eventually, he opened his own successful school, a dream he had nurtured for years. The school became a beacon of excellence, attracting students from all walks of life who were eager to learn from a master.
My business flourished, growing beyond my wildest dreams. The school was not just a place of learning, it was a community, a family. We celebrated each other's successes and supported each other through challenges, bringing me not just financial abundance but also a sense of fulfillment. The rewards were not just monetary, they were emotional and spiritual, a validation of my life's work, but also a sense of fulfillment. I found joy in teaching, in seeing my students grow and succeed. Their achievements were my achievements, and their happiness was my happiness. I had achieved my dreams, or so I thought. Despite all the success and accolades, there was a lingering sense of emptiness, a feeling that something was missing.
Life was good, filled with the comforts that wealth could provide. James had everything he had ever wanted: a thriving business, a beautiful home, and the respect of his community. Filled with the comforts that wealth could provide. He enjoyed the finer things in life, from designer clothes to luxury cars, and he took pride in the life he had built. Yet beneath the surface of success, a storm was brewing. The pressures of maintaining his success began to take a toll on him, both mentally and emotionally. His personal life stood in stark contrast to his professional achievements. While his career soared, his personal relationships began to suffer. His marriage, once a source of joy and companionship, started to show signs of strain. The love and connection that had once been so strong began to fade, had begun to crumble under the weight of unspoken expectations and unaddressed conflicts. The arguments became more frequent, and the silences more prolonged.
The distance between us grew, creating a chasm that seemed impossible to bridge. We were living in the same house, but it felt like we were worlds apart, leaving behind a chasm of resentment and pain. We struggled to reconnect, but every attempt seemed to push us further apart. Our efforts futile against the tide of our growing differences. Counseling sessions turned into battlegrounds, and the hope of reconciliation grew dimmer with each passing day.
The life he had built, the life that seemed so perfect from the outside, was slowly cracking. The facade of success was beginning to crumble, revealing the fragile reality beneath. The life that seemed so perfect from the outside was slowly cracking. James Carter's journey was a reminder that success is not just about what we achieve, but also about the relationships we nurture and the inner peace we cultivate. The inevitable finally arrived: divorce. It was a bitter pill to swallow, leaving James reeling in its wake. The process was arduous, a constant reminder of what he had lost. The luxurious house, once filled with laughter and warmth, now echoed with emptiness. His finances dwindled, eaten away by legal fees and the division of assets.
I downsized, moving into a modest apartment that reflected my new reality. Gone were the expensive cars, the tailored suits, and the lavish vacations. In their place remained the bare essentials, a stark reminder of the price of my shattered dreams.
Yet, amidst the ruins of his former life, James discovered a newfound clarity. Stripped of the material possessions that had once defined him, he began to look inward.
One evening, a package arrived at his doorstep. It was unexpected, and he couldn't recall ordering anything recently. The package was small, wrapped in plain brown paper with no return address. His curiosity was piqued as he picked it up, feeling the weight of the unknown in his hands. It was from me. a final act of closure or perhaps a cruel reminder of the past. He hesitated for a moment, memories flooding back, before carefully unwrapping the package. The paper fell away to reveal a simple, unmarked box. His hands trembled slightly as he lifted the lid. Inside, nestled in velvet lining, lay a device, a sphere of polished obsidian, cold and heavy in his hands. The sphere was flawless, its surface reflecting the dim light of the room. He turned it over, feeling the smoothness, the weight of it, wondering what it could possibly be. A note accompanied it, the words stark on the page. "Perhaps this will help you see what you couldn't then." The handwriting was familiar yet distant, like a ghost from another time. He read the note again, trying to decipher its meaning, feeling a mix of confusion and anticipation.
Curiosity piqued. He held the sphere, its smooth surface strangely alluring. He couldn't shake the feeling that it was more than just an object. It seemed to pulse with a hidden energy, drawing him in, compelling him to explore its secrets. As his fingers brushed against it, a jolt surged through him. It was as if the sphere had come alive, responding to his touch. The sensation was both startling and exhilarating, sending a shiver down his spine. He gripped the sphere tighter, feeling its power. Visions flooded his mind, fleeting images of alternate realities, of different paths his life could have taken. He saw himself in different places, with different people, living different lives. Each vision was vivid, almost tangible, as if he could reach out and touch these alternate versions of himself. The sphere, he realized, was a window, a portal to other versions of himself, shaped by different choices, different paths. It was a glimpse into the infinite possibilities of his existence, each one a reflection of a decision made or unmade. The realization was profound, leaving him both awed and unsettled. It was a terrifying and exhilarating prospect. The idea that his life could have been so different, that every choice had the power to alter his destiny, was both empowering and frightening. He felt a surge of emotions, a mix of fear and excitement, as he contemplated the endless possibilities that lay before him. Section 4, The First Journey, A Life of Solitude. This chapter delves into the transformative journey of James, a man who sought solace and understanding in the most unexpected of places. Driven by a need to understand the deeper mysteries of life, James activated the sphere, an ancient artifact that promised enlightenment. The sphere glowed with an otherworldly light, pulsating with energy that seemed to resonate with his very soul. As he held the sphere, the world around him began to dissolve, the familiar surroundings of his home fading away. He felt a sense of disorientation, but also a strange calm, as if he was being guided by an unseen hand. The chaotic dissolution of his world was replaced by the tranquil serenity of a mountain monastery. The air was crisp and clean, filled with the scent of pine and the distant sound of a flowing stream.
I was a monk, dressed in simple robes, my life stripped down to the essentials. The monastery was a place of peace and reflection, far removed from the noise and distractions of the modern world. My days were spent in quiet contemplation and rigorous training. Each morning began with meditation, followed by hours of physical exercise and study. The routine was demanding, but it brought a sense of purpose and clarity.
He was at peace, his mind calm, his thoughts no longer racing with the worries of his previous life. The natural surroundings of the monastery provided a perfect backdrop for his inner journey. His spirit unburdened by material desires, he found joy in the simplicity of his new life. The absence of luxury and excess allowed him to focus on what truly mattered.
The monks welcomed me with open arms, their smiles genuine and warm. They were a diverse group, each with their own story, but united by a common pursuit of enlightenment. Their eyes reflected wisdom earned through years of introspection and discipline. They taught me that true knowledge comes not from books, but from experience and self-reflection.
He spent days, weeks perhaps, in their company, learning their ways, sharing their frugal meals, and participating in their daily routines. The simplicity of their lifestyle was a stark contrast to his former life of affluence. He absorbed their peaceful wisdom, finding solace in their teachings and practices. The communal activities fostered a sense of belonging and purpose that he had never felt before.
I learned the power of letting go, of releasing the burdens that had weighed me down for so long. It was a liberating experience, one that brought a profound sense of freedom. I discovered the joy in simplicity, in finding happiness in the small everyday moments. It was a lesson that transformed my outlook on life.
There was a quiet strength in their detachment from the material world, a resilience that came from within. This inner strength was something he had never encountered in his previous life, a contentment that his former life of affluence had never afforded. In the simplicity of the monastery, he found a richness of experience and a depth of understanding that he had long sought but never found. Section 5, the second journey, Power's Grip. The scene shifted, the serenity of the mountains replaced with the cold steel and glass of a corporate office.
I was a ruthless CEO, my empire vast, my power absolute.
His decisions had consequences, affecting the lives of thousands. Yet he felt no satisfaction, only a gnawing emptiness.
Loneliness permeated the luxurious penthouse I called home.
The faces around his boardroom table were not those of friends, but of rivals and sycophants.
My wealth was staggering, my influence undeniable, but it came at a cost.
The warmth of human connection, the simple joys of life were absent in this world of ambition and power. He was a king on a gilded throne, forever tethered to his responsibilities, forever alone. Section 6, the third journey, a world of regret. The sphere transported him again, this time to a life of regret.
He saw himself, older, more haggard, haunted by the ghosts of missed opportunities.
He had chosen a path of safety, of familiarity, and in doing so had sacrificed his passions and dreams.
He had never taken the risk to pursue his love for art, settling instead for a mundane job that stifled his creativity.
His days blurred into an endless cycle of routine, devoid of the vibrancy and fulfillment he had craved.
He carried the weight of his choices, a heavy burden of what could have been.
His heart ached with the realization that it was too late to reclaim what he had let slip away. Gap 3S, Section 7, the fourth journey, a new beginning. As the sphere's light began to fade, James found himself in a new world, one filled with opportunities and challenges. The landscape was vibrant, a stark contrast to the life of regret he'd just witnessed. Here, the air buzzed with potential, and James felt a spark of hope ignite within him. He met new allies who shared his vision and passion. Together they embarked on ventures that pushed their boundaries and ignited their spirits. These allies became his support system, encouraging him to take risks and chase his dreams, but with new opportunities came old enemies. Shadows from his past re-emerged, testing his resolve and challenging his newfound determination. James faced these adversaries with a strength he never knew he possessed, driven by the desire to not let this second chance slip away. The journey was long and fraught with obstacles, yet James remained steadfast. Each step forward was a step away from the life of solitude and regret he had once known. He was determined to carve out a place for himself in this new reality, to live a life that resonated with the passions he'd once sacrificed. In this world of endless possibilities, James discovered that it was never too late to reinvent oneself, to pursue forgotten dreams, and to build a future brimming with hope and fulfillment. Section 8, the ultimate challenge. James's journey took him to the heart of the new world where the ultimate challenge awaited him. The landscape around him grew more daunting, the air thick with anticipation and tension. It was here that James would confront the deepest fears and unresolved conflicts that had haunted him for so long. His new allies stood by his side, their unwavering support a beacon of strength. These were the individuals who had believed in him when he had doubted himself, who had seen the potential within him when he had only seen failure. Together, they formed a formidable team, ready to face whatever lay ahead. The challenges were relentless, each one more difficult than the last. Shadows from James's past re-emerged, taunting him and testing his resolve. But this time he was prepared. Drawing on the strength and wisdom he had gained from his journey, he faced these adversaries head-on. With each victory, James grew stronger and more confident. He realized that the obstacles were not just external, but also internal battles he needed to overcome. Fear, doubt, and regret had no place in this new life he was carving out for himself. In a climactic moment, James confronted the ultimate challenge. It was a battle of wills, a test of his newfound strength and determination. His allies rallied around him, their encouragement and belief fueling his resolve. In the end, it was not just the strength of his body, but the strength of his spirit that saw him through. James emerged victorious, having conquered his fears and overcome the obstacles in his path. This triumph marked the beginning of a new chapter in his life, a chapter where he was no longer defined by his past, but by the endless possibilities of his future. With his allies by his side and a renewed sense of purpose, James was ready to embrace whatever came next. In this new world, James discovered that true strength comes not from avoiding challenges, but from facing them head-on and emerging stronger on the other side. And with this realization, he stepped forward into a future filled with hope, fulfillment, and endless potential. As the dust settled from the ultimate challenge, James stood at the precipice of a newfound understanding. The trials he had faced, the shadows he had conquered, were not just obstacles in his path. They were the very essence of his journey. He realized that the quest for a new world had always been about something deeper, discovering himself. James's allies, who had become his family, gathered around him. Their faces were etched with pride and relief. They had seen him at his lowest, and now they witnessed his triumphant rise. This bond forged through shared adversity was unbreakable. With a heavy heart but a clear mind, James made the decision to return to his old life. It was not an act of retreat, but a homecoming with a renewed sense of purpose. The world he left behind had not changed, but he had. He carried with him the wisdom, strength, and clarity that his journey had gifted him. As James stepped back into his familiar surroundings, he saw them through new eyes. The mundane now held a profound beauty. The routine, once a source of frustration, became a canvas for his newfound creativity and determination. He approached each day with a spirit of gratitude and a drive to make a difference. James found peace in the simple moments, watching a sunset, sharing a meal with friends, and embracing the quietude of solitude. He realized that fulfillment was not a destination but a way of being. It was in the small acts of kindness, the pursuit of passions, and the connections he nurtured. In the end, James's journey had come full circle. He had ventured into the unknown, faced his deepest fears, and emerged not just as a survivor, but as a man reborn. His story was a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the transformative power of self-discovery. With a heart full of hope and a soul brimming with purpose, James looked toward the future. He knew that challenges would come and go, but he was ready to face them head-on, for he had learned that true strength lies not in avoiding the storms, but in dancing through the rain. And so James embraced his life with open arms, ready to write the next chapter of his journey. A chapter defined not by the past, but by the endless possibilities of the future. James, after his long journey, begins to see the world in a different light. He realizes that every experience, whether good or bad, has shaped him into the person he is today. The world, once filled with shadows and regrets, now appears vibrant and full of possibilities. In the quiet moments of reflection, James finds a profound sense of peace. The mundane tasks he once took for granted now shimmer with a newfound beauty. The morning sun casting its golden rays, the laughter of children in the park, the comforting hum of city life. They all speak to him in ways they never did before. James decides to embrace this new perspective, finding beauty in the mundane and hope in the unexpected. He understands that his journey is far from over, but with this newfound outlook, he is ready to face whatever comes next with courage and optimism. Every challenge, every triumph, every sorrow, and every joy has been a brushstroke on the canvas of his life. And now, with a heart full of gratitude and a spirit brimming with hope, James steps into the future. He knows that there will be more trials, more lessons to learn, but he is no longer afraid. For James has discovered the true essence of his journey, not just the quest for a new world, but the journey within. He has learned that life's greatest adventures are not always found in distant lands, but in the quiet corners of our hearts. As he walks forward, James carries with him the wisdom of his past and the promise of a brighter tomorrow. He is ready to write the next chapter of his life, one filled with endless possibilities and boundless hope. And so, with the world before him and a heart full of dreams, James embraces his future with open arms, ready to dance through the rain and shine in the sun, for he knows that the best is yet to come. James is now a different person, having learned that the love of family is more important than any achievement. With this new perspective, everything he ever lost has grown tenfold as a result of following his love for people, not as objects, but as opportunities to help others. He sits by the ocean, the waves gently crashing against the shore, the sky painted in hues of orange and pink. James gazes at the horizon, feeling the cool breeze on his face, and reflects on his incredible journey. He gives thanks for the lessons he received from the mysterious sphere, realizing that it was not the object itself, but the wisdom it imparted that changed his life. The sphere taught him that true wealth is measured not by material possessions, but by the love and connections we share with others. In this moment of serene contemplation, James feels a profound sense of gratitude. He understands that his journey has come full circle, bringing him back to what truly matters: the love of family, the joy of helping others, and the beauty of simple moments. As the sun sets, casting a golden glow over the ocean, James smiles. He knows that life will continue to present challenges, but with the love and support of his family, he is ready to face them all. For James, the ultimate challenge was not in conquering the world, but in understanding his own heart. And now, with a heart full of love and a spirit brimming with hope, he is ready to embrace whatever the future holds. The journey home has brought him more than he ever imagined. It has brought him a deeper understanding of himself and the true essence of life. And as he sits by the ocean, James knows that he is exactly where he is meant to be. The waves continue to dance, the sky darkens, and the stars begin to twinkle. James closes his eyes, taking a deep breath, and whispers a silent thank you to the universe. He is at peace, ready to write the next chapter of his life, one filled with love, gratitude, and endless possibilities. And so, with a heart full of dreams and a spirit soaring high, James embraces his future with open arms, knowing that the best is yet to come.